Well, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to Kitchen Table TCG. My name is Louie. Today we are opening another case of a case of booster boxes of Arthurian Legends for my friend and yours, Ivan. Ivan, thank you for letting me open up a case. Sorry, it's a little bit delayed. We've been streaming all weekend. I spent some time with the family the last couple days, and we are back at it, ready to crack open a case of the most beautiful booster boxes you have ever seen. Now, the sentiment for this set is, as expected, very divided. There's a lot of things to discuss and a lot of things to talk about. We're gonna go through this whole case in this video, so we have plenty of time to discuss those things. But we did stream this past week. If you're looking for more box openings, we opened a curio finally after 40-ish boxes. I opened a curio, and that was pretty fun to go through that. And I think the overall, I'm going to give you guys all my thoughts on the set. I'm going to say that the overall box opening experience feels very similar to that of Alpha and Beta, and I think that's an impressive feat for Sorcery Contested Realm. Sir Lamrock. Okay, first big thing. This is a unique, but it is actually an elite. It's printed the same rarity as elites. We'll get into that in a minute. But the overall box opening experience, I feel, is very similar to that of Alpha or Beta, in that while you're opening, there's so many fun things to look for. There's so much beautiful artwork. There is just so many different hits and chases and different value engines throughout the opening that it is just so much fun to open. And I think that is such a huge important element to Sorcery Contested Realm. Salmon of Knowledge. I love this artwork. It's a cool ability too. Roll d20 on a 14 plus, draw 3 cards. Really cool ability. So anyway, the ability to create a fun opening experience is something that's super important and that a lot of card games struggle with after their first set. Back to back, Salmon of Knowledges. Salmon of Nulli. There's a Curio of the Weightless Squire where this is down or up or one of the two. So I think that's a big thing, that the box opening experience is still super fun and engaging. It makes people want to open more boxes, more packs. People end up spending more money and enjoying the cracking more. So that's the first thing I wanted to say, that they were able to create this experience that feels similar to Alpha Beta. The artwork all seems important. The artwork all seems good, in my opinion. I know that that's, rather subjective. Redbacks. Okay, so this is a true unique giant spoiling for a fight. And a Thieving Megabai. I can't pronounce most of the things. Our first foil is an ordinary foil. So the big difference is, the big kind of hang up right now, the big issue in the Sorcery Arthurian Legends community is the unique stuff. Okay, and so let's get into it. There are, I believe, 16 knights that were printed with the word, so there's more than 16. It's 16 plus, I think, 8. So 20, what is that, 24? There are 24 knights printed with the word unique on them. 16 of those were actually printed at an elite rarity in terms of your pull rate. 8 of them, I think it's 8. I have it right here. 8 of them, 6 of them were printed with the true unique rarity. And the ones that are printed as true uniques are the ones that are, oh snap, dude, the Lady of the Lake and foil. Heck yeah, baby, let's go. Okay, this is a good card too. All right, Lady of the Lake and foil, absolutely beautiful. Huge pull, a unique foil off the bat. Dude, all right, this is good. This is good. Whew. Ivan, congratulations, my friend. The Lady of the Lake and foils, big and a valor. So the issue being that a lot of people are saying, well, blah blah blah, they're not actually uniques. Why do they put the unique? So the reason that they put the unique moniker on it is because they don't want you to be able to play more of them in your deck. So this is a unique Sir Lamrock. We already pulled this one too. This is printed as an elite, but it has a unique, so you can only run one of them in your deck. That is important for the gameplay of the set. It's important for the gameplay. They wanted that to feel like a unique thing. They didn't want you to be able to run 2 Sir Lamorak. That wouldn't have made sense in the kind of feeling of Arthurian legend. The Wild Hunt and the Wall of Brambles. Now, another thing they could have done is printed it as an elite, but then put another keyword on it that's like legendary or special or blah 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 blah, and then you would know that that would only be allowed. It was an elite rarity, but it could only have one of each in your deck. That's another way they could have done it. That just makes it more convoluted, though, in my opinion. And it doesn't really change the pull rate of actual uniques. If you look at the pull rate of an actual unique, then it is much more close to the alpha beta, where your uniques, your true uniques, I would say, are decently hard to pull. You're going to get, I think 5 or 6 of them in a box of 24 packs, or in alpha beta, it was like, I think 9 or something like that. And so it just kind of works out. Giant Killer, man, we've pulled the Giant Killer like so many times. The artwork's super cool. All right, 4 foils already. So it just kind of chalks this whole thing kind of chalks up to be that people are frustrated about the pull rate. And it doesn't actually matter. You're just getting more quote unquote uniques that don't actually, that don't actually matter. It doesn't mean that the other uniques you get don't matter, because they do. So I understand why people are confused about it, but I also understand why they did it. They wanted to fit all of those Arthurian legend characters in, and in order to do so, they also wanted it to be, unique rarity in terms of gameplay. So it kind of makes sense. That does mean that there are going to be quote unquote unique that are significantly less valuable, that are, more of the elite price. Degradation. I feel like we pulled that one a lot in foil too. 5th foil. You're getting 6 foils per box almost exclusively. We did have one box that had 7 foils. That was kind of fun. And foils are expensive. So that's my opinion on the night thing. Do I love it? I mean, I don't love it, but I also understand why they did it. And I think people are overreacting. I think it's like this kind of giant overreaction from a community that's just kind of looking for something to complain about anyway. And I don't know, that's going to always happen on new sets. There's going to always be people who want to find things to complain about. I don't really understand why it's that big of a deal. Peasant Revolt. There's a true unique. We'll look at the total number of actual uniques here. I think it's going to be either 4 or 6. I can't remember exactly where it falls. It is going to make, those true uniques are going to stand out in the value. Sir Gawain. All right, so is this one of the ones? This is not. So the ones that are true uniques have double. So this is a 3 whatever. It would be double and double. Those are the ones that are the true uniques. The way the Squire artwork is so cool. All right, so those are my thoughts on that, and we're gonna start moving a little quicker through the boxes here. Trying to keep. Oh, a Merlin now. Oof, in the close. Absolutely beautiful. Merlin. Then there's all the curios. Okay, so we got 1, 2, 3, 4 true uniques, and then these kind of bonus Sirs. All right, so I think that's going to be kind of what we get each box, because the pull rates have been incredibly good in terms of accuracy. The Lady of the Lake is our big foil there. It's a big, big win. All right, we're going to have to move a little quicker through these boxes here. Yeah, okay, so that's the Sir thing. Now let's talk about the market. The market kind of jumped down on boxes last week. You can get boxes for, I believe, like 113, something like that. Boxes have jumped back up to around the 116 mark. Not a huge difference. but it is good to see that boxes are still being picked up. I, for one, think as people get their boxes in, they typically end up buying more. So if you bought 3 or 4 boxes and you crack open your cards and you're like, oh man, that was fun, that was a really good opening experience, now all of a sudden I need to go get more boxes to get that specific, try to hunt that specific card I wanted, or try to Sir, I mean, 3 Sirs in a row. And the Troll Bridge, beautiful. I'm still hoping there's a curio of that somewhere. So I think that's kind of why the value of the boxes will kind of go up until we see the second wave, and then it might kind of balance out again. I don't know much details on wave 2. There's not been a whole lot of conversation about it. Distro kind of keeps that stuff pretty close, particularly for sorcery. Historically, they've kept all the reprints and all the waves and all that kind of stuff pretty close to the heart. But we'll see kind of what happens when wave 2 does pop up. I think as people get more boxes, you will start seeing the boxes on the market start selling pretty good. Just simply put, that people did not. I opened, oh, Sir Lancelot. Oh, heck yeah, that's a true unique Sir. See the double mana cost in the top, and a Castle Servant. Sir Lancelot, one of the more expensive cards right now on the TCG player as well. Although prices on TCG player kind of all over the place. But we opened, 40-ish boxes, 45 boxes, something like that. And we were still hitting uniques that we had not hit before. Archimago, the back of that has a one that is a spell book, which is a curio. So I think as that happens and as that goes, people will be like, oh my gosh, I haven't pulled 80% of the set and I opened 3 boxes. My pookies! And then they end up buying more boxes. And so I think you'll start seeing the supply of boxes not dwindle. I don't think the supply is low. I think they printed plenty of this. I think there's, I think it's a healthy amount that's going around. Ooh, Avalon, the Tri-land. Oh, it's a 4-land. It's a quad land, but it provides it for everybody. Huge card. And the Wyvern. This is the curio we pulled, was the Wyvern. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen it. We hunted for that like crazy this weekend. Yeah, so, and now we have the Blood and another site. Giving everything stealth. All right, so now let's move on. We talked about kind of the box prices, the market prices, and the overall sentiment of the set. I'm going to give you my thoughts. Feast for Crows. This is another one we just haven't seen very much. I'm going to give you kind of my sentiment on the feeling of the set. And this is something I think is super important. I was very concerned about Arthurian Legends because second set, dumpster fire, second set in a game, and they're going heavy on a theme. And my fear was like, man, is this going to feel like a completely different, completely brand new thing and a brand new game? Is this going to fit within the ecosystem of what we have all come to know and love in sorcery? And I think they absolutely knocked it out of the park. I feel like this whole thing is special. I feel like Arthurian Legends, the boxes are unique and special and fun and different from Alpha Beta. But I also feel like the cards within Love Potion and a Helpful Hob, I feel like the cards within really fit the feel and overall atmosphere of sorcery. So like Sir Tom Thumb, yeah, he's different, right? He is a Arthurian feel, but the Helpful Hob totally makes sense to me. That would be in the world of Sorcery Contested Realm. It makes sense at the realm. And one of the things they did really cool is they put all these like family cards. Have you noticed that? And it makes you like realize Kelpie Cavern. It makes you kind of realize that you're not just in a place where everybody is fighting, but there's a place of living, right? It's a world of which people just exist. Salmon of Knowledge also exists. like the Shameless Squire, right? Like you have the Reckless Squire. You've got all these like random field laborers. They really added those cards in. They're not powerful. They're not like amazing things. They're not the cards everyone's talking about. But if you have cards like that in your set, Iron Man Talus. If you have cards like that in your set, it makes you feel like the world is open and that you could exist in that world. And it makes it a lot more fun, in my opinion. It's not just a bunch of sirs and knights running around hitting each other for no reason. It actually has a purpose and a fun kind of element to that. So they did that, I think, really well, and I think that fits really, really well in the set. Fits really, really well with alpha and with beta. And then on top of that, the gameplay side of it, it seems like, I haven't gotten to play with many of the cards yet, but just from looking at them and thinking through deck building and thinking through the decks I already have, there's tons of cards I'm like, oh man, I want to try that out in this deck or that deck, or I want to build a new, like the new Druid avatar looks so freaking cool. I want to build around that. And I want to build a water Druid deck. And I think there's a lot of fun Wizard's Den. I think there's a lot of fun things that connect alpha and beta to this new set. So where that was a huge concern of mine, it's now something that I think like proves to me that sorcery can do that and can change it up and can continue to make sets and to make things that I can't find my knife, to make sets and make things that are engaging, but also, unique, like something like Arthurian themed and something that is just in that realm. Okay, so we are 2 boxes in. We only have 1 unique foil. We have no curios, no major hits, no 4 seasons, 4 waters or whatever. But we still have 4 boxes left, everybody. It'll be a little bit of a longer video than I thought. The Goswit Helm. And another foil wyvern, duplicate foils. I've seen a little bit of that. I don't know, it's hard to... It is not as prevalent as Alpha Beta was, that is for sure. Alpha Beta, we had so much duplication and so much... the print sheets did not seem as... My Pookie! Did not seem as diverse as this does. But there does seem to be some more... there does seem to be some form of duplication, some of the foils, particularly for me, within a case. I bet you that is still within the zone of, possibility without mistake. The sample size is just not huge. It has not been a huge sample size. Dumpster Fire. The Unseelie Cord. Absolutely beautiful. And another unique Sir Lamrack. So not really a true unique, but who knows if they change it on the print run of the foils. I'm not sure if we'll ever know that, but it does say unique. So another unique foil. I'm not sure if we'll ever know. We'd have to get a unique sheet print run to see, or maybe it's on the elite sheet. I know we saw it on the non-foil. Maybe you could make the assumption that it's the same, but another unique foil is pretty good, Ivan. Excuse me. Yeah, all right, so now let's go to deck building and what's going on in that kind of world. I have not seen anything that I feel like is meta figuring out yet, but what I have seen is a lot of people who are excited to build new decks and to try out the new avatars. It seems like the new avatars are exciting enough and different enough. This is the families I was talking about. It just makes you feel like, hey, there's a family here. It's not just monsters that we're fighting for something. We're fighting for a family. And the Archimago again. Archimago, who knows? Ominous Owl. All right, let's go to curios. Deck building, there's not a whole lot for me to talk about yet. I haven't gotten to build a deck yet. Let's go to curios though, because the curios have been a wild conversation, and people who don't like the curios I think are insane, because I think the curios in this set are dumpster fire, crazy cool. The curios are the box kind of art that you saw, where it's like a really Arthurian book like this. The cards look like that. Absolutely insane. Really, really fun to chase. I saw some people be like, it's really bad that people are so curio or bust. I don't think people are curio or bust. I think people are excited for the idea of pulling the curios. Like, I think that there's a sense of those cards being so special and so exciting. And so people are definitely excited for them. But it doesn't mean that people aren't excited for the rest of the pack and the rest of the cards. Like me, like I'm excited to build a full foil set, and like I think there's other people who are excited for that. There's other people who are just excited to build a non-foil set. There's people who are excited for other things. But when you have those really cool chases, that's obviously like where your attitude goes of trying to pull something that feels that special and that hard to pull. Now, all the people who are like, I opened one box. Look, Louis, I got this one box from you and I pulled the Holy Grail. Like, those people, congratulations, because holy moly. Queen Gethsemane, I see, like, I don't know if this is short printed or not, because it's not a knight, but it's, it's kind of in the same realm as the knight. I don't know. I don't know how that works. I don't really understand that one. That's where it gets confusing. It's like, what rarity is this? But the market will like just, oh, another unique foil, the 13 Treasures of Britain. Ivan, 2 unique foils in one box. Congratulations. That's a pretty cool one too. The 13 Treasures of Britain. A unique collection of priceless relics. That's pretty cool. Wizard's Den. Oh, that card, it shocked me. I don't oh, double weightless squire? Is that, no, that was a thankless squire. Never mind. There's a weightless squire curio that you gotta look for. You gotta look for it. But the curios are really cool, and I think like this set particularly has like a themed curio more or less. That's like they're all very similar, or most of them are very similar, and that's different. But I also think it's kind of cool, and it fits. Oh, 4 Waters of Paradise. Now this is what everyone's saying is the Philosopher's Stone of the set. What a box! Two unique foils and a 4 Waters of Paradise in non-foil. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. What a box. What a box. You always have one box that's like super, super hit. We still have one more foil to get here too. The Valor. So I think the curios are great. I personally do. I mean, I think some of them are less great than others. Obviously, like, if I could choose between pulling, we pulled the Wyvern. Actually, I have it next to me. We pulled the Wyvern. This is the curio we pulled. I'm excited for that one. I think that one's really cool, but I would prefer to pull the foily Arthurian themed card for sure. But it doesn't make that one any less cool or less exciting to pull. And I think the Arthurian cards are really fun. And again, like, everyone's always going to have their opinion on things, and you're allowed to have that. Nelly Longarms. Now, this is one of the cards that we pulled like one of in 45 boxes. Crazy. Wow, what a box. What a box. All right, last pack. Last pack. And then we're going to talk about art, because we have not talked about the art yet. That's another, for some reason, people are down on some of the art. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in circles that are negative. What a box this is. Absolutely crazy. Absolutely crazy. Double unique foil. Here we go. Box number 4. Ivan. Oh, this is box number 3. Sorry. This is box number 4. I just can't count. Or open a box, apparently. I lost my knife. I had a little knife here at the beginning of the video. It's gone. It's never going to be seen again. All right, let's talk about the artwork. Sorcery, obviously very known for its art. Also very known for you know, art being is a very subjective thing. You might think art looks good, I might not think it looks good. It's a very back and forth subjective nature in art. The first thing I want to say about it is that I feel like they did a really good job of making all the art fit and feel like part of the overall sorcery story. There's no art, there's no series of art, there's no feeling of this being a completely different game. And sometimes when you have, like in this case, they do have different artists. The alpha beta artists, presumably are working on Dumpster Fire, and the Fairy Queen, a unique fairy, orchestrates her underlings. Presumably they are working on the next sorcery set. It would be my guess, is they're going to go kind of back and forth to kind of make sure they can get as many sets in as a time, whereas they want to. And so usually when you have that risk of not having the same artists or not having the same people, you run this risk of the sets feeling different. But the overall art direction, the overall feel of this, in my opinion, is very sorcery-esque. Like I said, opening these packs, every card feels, I know we're kind of going quick, right? Because I'm trying to do a case in one video. But every card feels important. Even the squeakers is fun and cool to look at, and it all feels exciting. You pull a foil and you want to flip it over and look to see if there's anything hidden. It all kind of has that sorcery-esque feel to it of important artwork, because these are all, again, hand-painted pieces of art that are created intentionally, and not with digital or not with anything. Like, it's still all so sorcery. And so yeah, I mean, I think there's art here. I mean, my favorite artist, Seb McKinnon from Magic the Gathering, is here. So like I think I'm a little bit even more excited about the art in this set than Alpha Beta. I mean, like, it's always going to have Ring of Morgan, beautiful card, and definitely a strong ability. This is one of the cards that people kind of put at the top of the tier list of cards. Man, Ivan, your boxes are kind of fire, dude. Kind of jealous. I'm a little jealous, Ivan. Your boxes have been pretty significantly good. So the artwork, I think, like, it feels to me very similar and very exciting. I don't really get the whole, like, it's not the same, it's the different artists. Like, yeah, I mean, like, what did you want? Like, they've got to be working towards these bigger things and more things and whatever. And so, like, it doesn't surprise me that they use predominantly different artists. Sir Gowris. But it all still feels very important and big to me in terms of the direction of the art. Arcane Barrage and the Power of Flight. Like, how do you look at this card and not be like, man, that art is amazing? And I do love that, like, all of the cards, the art really tells exactly what the card does. That one, it gives something flying. It's not rocket science. Monstrous Lion. So, I think the art's fine. I think it's great. I think there's pieces here that I'm like, man, that is really, really good. Obviously, the Seb McKinnon card is my favorite. I think there's pieces that are not as good. And I think there's some that are just kind of boring. And, frankly, the ones that are the family, I think they're supposed to be boring. The Blacksmith family doesn't need to be the most engaging piece of artwork on the earth. It can just be a family portrait, and that's kind of the point, right? Like, it brings you into this world of, like, this family took a family portrait. Sir Morian has to look like a badass because he's about to swipe a arrow out of midair and knock it down with a sword. So, like, he needs to look a little bit cooler, and he does. And so I think, like, people are just way overcritical and just looking for things to complain about, to be honest. Rescue. But again, maybe that's just the circles and what people are sending me. But everyone locally has been really excited. Everyone on my streams, I feel like, has been excited and engaged. We had 60, 70 people watching and around to try to catch the curio and have fun. It seemed like people were all having a blast. I think at the end of the day, guards, I think at the end of the day, the set's going to do really, really well, especially once people start building decks and start seeing the power level of some of the cards and start playing around with the new avatars and start upgrading their decks. Like, I think you're going to see a lot of desire for the cards, which is a good thing. And second sets are dangerous, man. We've had some indie TCGs. You guys have followed on the channel. We've had some indie TCGs that have had some rough second sets. And so to have a second set come out and I think do really well and perform, you know, with what this is, Glassing Tower, first of the Tri-lands. And then we have the Love Potion. There we go. Elite Potion of Blind Devotion. I have not seen that in foil. Elites are historically kind of hard to pull foil. All right, last pack of box 4. 2 more boxes and a Cursed Land. All right, Ivan, you're doing pretty good, my friend. You've got a good 3-pack right now of unique foils. That box was not nearly as good as there's a ton of uniques in that one. That box was not nearly as good as box 3, but it was still a decent box. Box 4. Let's see if we can get 1 or 2 more true unique foils for you, my friend. Ivan's a huge fan of sorcery, always active in the Facebooks. I have gotten rid of my Facebooks. I'm not super active on that stuff right now. But I know he's always engaging. All right, let's go a little quicker and let's just talk about the cards pulled. The Fairy Queen. Beautiful, beautiful artwork. The looking for curios definitely adds an element to this where you got to know what you're looking for. And people reaching out to me, hey, what do you think about this card? What do you think about this curio? What do you think it's worth? I have no clue, my friends. I have no clue where all this shakes up. I would use beta though as a direction for pricing way more than I would use. There's the Peasant Revolt. Way more than I would use like the alpha prices. It seems like people on TCG Player, we just price on TCG Player compared to what everybody else does, but we were a couple of days late. Dumpster Fire. Seems like the initial prices on all these platforms, people want it to be like this free tendy type thing. And it seems like pull rates, people are like, you know, they want their unique foils to be worth $250. Well, another Archimago, lots of those. Why would this unique foil be worth $250 when alpha foils, unique foils, are worth $250? It just doesn't make sense, right? Like, this is not going to be free tendies alpha prices. It's not printed like alpha. It's not it's not the same thing as alpha. This is the now 3rd box printed. Like, it's gonna be a slower, more TCG feel in terms of the value and what you do. Now, what I do think is really good is historically sorcery has had good EV compared to the box price. Historically, the EV and the box price are pretty on par with one another. And so I think that's a really good historical fact that I think will probably hold true. Another Tri-land. And you see things like that with like the Tri-lands and the vast number of uniques and the difficulty to pull all the sets. And that's where I'm like, man, singles are going to do good. There's another elite foil, the Arcane Barrage. Absolutely beautiful artwork. So I think singles are going to do really well. For those of you who are cracking singles for selling, we did that, you know, like I said, with the boxes we opened. The Golden Harp. I think it's going to take a little bit longer than beta did to get to figure out what the prices are. Because beta was like, man, it was easy because everybody knew what was good and what wasn't good, and there was already a market because of alpha. There was already cards. You could already compare prices and say, hey, this card should be around this price because the alpha version is that price. Another Arcane Barrage. But when you have a brand new set with all this new stuff, it takes a while for the meta to shift, to figure out, is the Four Waters card as good as people think it is, or is it just cool artwork, right? Like, it definitely changes the math based on the answer to those questions. And so at the end of the day, those questions need to be asked first. Oh, what do we got here? The unique, and then, oh, the Pendragon banner. There's the Bowers of Bliss Pendragon banner, another really good foil. Ivan, your foils have been, I think, pretty good. Nothing like top tier amazing. I mean, the Lady of the Lake probably actually is top tier amazing. Ball, lightning, and a duel. Your foils have been just strong though. Like, you've been doing. The Squire always gets me. The Thankless Squire. Somebody was saying there should be a curio of the Thankless Squire where the weight is down. Like the weight of the text goes down instead of up on the weightless Squire. I think that would be pretty funny. Yeah, anyway. Let's see what else we get in this box. Oh, what do I do? We skipped it. Sir Argravan. The Sirs do kind of, I get it. They do kind of feel like you pull a ton of them. I think for limited though, that might be good. It'll really give a feeling. Thunder Giant. It'll really give a good feeling to the set where you're like, man, every single game you get to play with or against a Sir, because they're, you know, you pull them pretty often in draft and in limited and whatever. I think that's a kind of a win to give people this kind of excitement for playing with the Arthurian theme. But I do understand when you're opening a box and you just keep getting Sirs, and you're like, But if you don't look at them as uniques, I think that gets better. If you just look at them as like another elite, it probably feels a little bit different. All right, let's see. Ivan, you got one box left after these 4 packs. How are you feeling? Chat, how are we feeling Ivan's doing? I think he's doing all right. Not that box 3 was so good, kind of set it apart a little bit. This last box might make or break it in terms of, I know what he's gonna say. He didn't pull a curio yet, and so it's not good. But like, you still pulled some other good stuff. Look at the size of that cat, freaking massive. Still pulled some other really hot stuff. All right, we should have a foil in one of these 2 packs. We're only at 5 foils, so there should be one last foil hiding in. Here's a Spear Marshal. Not in this pack. Let's see. Last pack should have a foil. Let's see how good we are at counting to 6. Hey, there's a foil. And a Major City and the Finn Wife. A little wife that's a fish. A little wife that's a fish. Okay, last box, Ivan. I think it's going okay. I think you're doing okay. Again, not like the greatest 5 boxes, but you do have 3 unique foils. That's a good start. You do have the 4 Seasons Hotel, which is the 4 Waters card, which is really good. And you still have, 24 packs. The 24 pack thing, I actually think I like. It does make it a little bit quicker to open boxes, which is kind of nice. This video is going to be about 15 minutes longer than I wanted it to be. Oh, I left a card in the pack, the Finn Wife, and I dropped a Shameless Squire. But other than that, we're good. All right, the Helm. We keep pulling the Helm. There's also so many curios of people. Like, I guess there's only 18, but there's a curio of the questing. No, there's a curio of. Is there a curio of the questing beast? Like, it's hard to keep up with them. There's a curio I saw that's like the troll artwork, and it's sideways, and it has an Atlas card on it. Like, there's just so many different curios. If you're not in the Cardboard Guide YouTube channel's Discord server, go check out the Cardboard Guide Discord server, because they're tracking along with all the curios and putting stuff in there, and it's a good resource and good community of people to talk to. Mesmerism, another true unique, and another elite site. Lots of elite foils, Ivan. That's where you've done pretty well. You've gotten a ton. Your foils have not just been like ordinaries and exceptionals. You've gotten a lot of elite foils. Pretty good. Kelp Cavern. No Dumpster Fire. Horn of Carleon. I'm pretty much out of things to talk about at this point. Dame, the Walmart girl. And a grievous insult. Weightless Squire. Lots of things to check on Curios. Weightless Squire. I guess it's not as much as Alpha Beta. I guess I'm just still learning. Sir Tom Thumb. Uh-oh. We're starting to slow down. In the last box, I wanted to start off with a banger. We haven't gotten the Seb McKinnon art too. I wanted to talk about that. Seb McKinnon, my favorite Magic artist. Wonderful. Oh, this pack feels thick. This pack feels thick. Sealy Court. Oh, another unique foil. There we go. Sir Ironside. Beautiful. Beautiful unique foil. I don't know, that pack felt thick for some reason. So like a question is that a unique foil? Or is that an elite foil? It'll be interesting. The market will decide that, right? Like, I don't know if we'll ever be able to figure it out in terms of print sheet, but the market will decide, is Sir Ironside worth what a unique foil is worth, or more worth what like an elite foil is worth? Some weird print on there. And a Sir Boris print run feels good. I mean, everything, the quality feels more like second wave of beta, spring beta. That's kind of what it feels like, and I'm impressed. And another Iron Man Thalas. Okay, duplicate foil there. That's your fourth foil of the box, Ivan. You've got 2 more foil hits, and I think a lot of uniques. A lot of dumpster fire. I think you got a lot of uniques to pull. We didn't pull an Excalibur, which would have been fun. That was my preview card. We didn't pull my Seb McKinnon art. Yeah, Pookie. We got, oh, my Pookie. I love you, my Pookie. Some people don't. All right. That's it. This is it. What are we doing, Ivan? Come on, buddy. You got to get some uniques, my friend. Holy moly. You've got 3 Surge and a Mesmerism right now. We need to get you some uniques. Golden Harp's not going to do it. Oh, but the Unseelie Court and foil will. Holy moly. Talk about elite foils. What a hit. What a hit. In the close, you're still going to have 1 foil left, but man, the Unseelie Court, an absolute beautiful, iconic piece of artwork from the set. I believe one of the first cards they spoiled in terms of artwork. Iconic for sure, piece of artwork. Castles Ablaze. Oh man, where's all the uniques? You were supposed to get uniques on this side. The rest of the packs, 5 packs, 6 packs, you're gonna have to all have uniques on them. Shapeshift is not a unique, but the Kingswood Poachers, probably your last foil. Probably your last foil is what I would guess. Man, 5 packs left. We don't have any true uniques in this box, just the Mesmerism. Wild. Sir K, not a true unique. Wow. Ivan, letting us down at the end of this video. Can we get a 4 Waters at least in the close? Or the Seb McKinnon art? Sir Lancelot. All right, that's good. That's a true unique. There we go. True unique Sir Lancelot, one of the more expensive cards in the set. Pretty good. 3 packs left, Ivan. Thank you so much for letting me open your box. Fail Not Bow. Okay, this is a good, another unique. Here we go. We haven't seen that one yet. Bear has range 3. You can basically hit anything you want in the whole realm. Crazy. 2 packs left. Can we get a curio in the close? How about the Amulet of 9? There we go. Another card. Iconic card that people are saying could be one of the higher value cards. That and the ring. And the 4 seasons, the 4 waters. All right, last pack. A Merlin in the close. 3 really good uniques right in the back end of that one. Ivan, no curio for you, my friend, but you did very well. You had 4, I believe, 4 unique foils. I think 3 of them were Surge, but you did have the big one was the Lady of the Lake foil. Where was that? The Lady of the Lake foil, a huge hit. And you did pretty good. You got your 4 Waters in there. You got some Merlins. You got some Sir Lancelots. I think you did pretty good, my friend. Thank you for letting me open up your box. I hope you all have a great day. Let me know what your thoughts on Arthurian Legends are in the comments. And we'll see you again next video.